Welcome, everybody. Let me start over. We should probably just pick up on these things without me trying to say welcome, everybody, because I'm not very good at it and I always have to do it 2 or 3 times. So we're going to start there and then I'm going to say welcome, everybody. We'll get better at this, we promise. But you're back, you're joining us, so that must mean you like us enough to stick around. Or if you're new, welcome. This is Danielle.
Hello, everyone.
She is a co-founder of Mental Labs, and I'm Vanessa. I'm the other co-founder of Mental Labs, and we get together every Friday and talk about what's going on in our lives and just try to let you know that we're real humans. Boy, are we real humans. Danielle, I'm just going to launch into it.
Okay.
So I got a lot to talk about and we don't have a lot of time. All right, so today, irregular periods. Right? It's the thing that started us down this journey. My first 3-week period. Guess what I'm having?
Another 3-week period?
Another 3-week period. So I had one when I was 44. I had one when I was 45. I had one when I was 46. And I'm 48 now. Last year I didn't have one.
Oh, huh.
And they were coming like clockwork every 11 months, right? So my first one was in November. My second was October the following year, and September the year after that. But last year I didn't have one. I chalk it up to the probiotics, to my Menopause, but now I have one. Right? It's been more than 11 months, so I think that's a good thing. I think
that is a good thing.
Right, my estrogen's leveling off. I'm making use of my own estrogen. But here's the other thing I'm noticing. I haven't had cramps in months. Right? Is this normal? Is this as you approach, I don't know, as you approach menopause, is it a thing where you don't have cramps as much anymore? Because I got my first period when I was 12 and I have had debilitating, lay you flat on the couch, can't get out of bed kind of cramps every single period since then, even when I was taking birth control pills.
See, mine slowed down with birth control. That could be because of your estrogen leveling out too. You know, there could be something about that and not having, or is it just something normal, you know?
I mean, I'm not complaining.
Yes.
I should say that right up front. I'm not complaining because I'm 11 days into this period now and nary a cramp in sight.
That's kind of awesome though, even for an 11-day period.
Which I'm not too jazzed about, but at least I know it's out of the way for the year, I guess.
Yeah, that's kind of nice. Like, it's like one thing that's not so fun, right? The 11-day period so far, and no end in sight, right? But on the other hand, there's no cramps.
Exactly. And I have not been moody on this one. Just no mood swings at all.
That's good. Have you been noticing mood swings at all on your other, like, previous months?
Yeah, but I'm going to chalk that up to more stress.
Yeah.
Right? I kind of feel like, we might have enough shots for everybody to be inoculated by May. That's just such a good piece of news for me. It feels like there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know.
Yeah. Between COVID, between work, between personal life, between just needing to get outside, between wanting to just go outside somewhere else other than our backyards, between wanting to go travel. I mean, I haven't, like, even just around the city, like, we haven't eaten out at a restaurant in forever. So, just getting back to those kinds of normal things, I think there's some light at the end of the tunnel, hopefully, but yes, I'm so with you right there. And I know.
You know what I realized I don't know about you is how old you were when you had your first period.
I was 5th grade, 12 years old.
Yeah.
12 years old, 5th grade, one of the first ones in my class. And And I have some embarrassing stories about,
I
being
think we all do.
I will never forget. I had a substitute teacher one time, and she, of course, the class was misbehaving probably, because substitute teacher, it's, out of the norm, whatever. This particular substitute teacher was not handling it very well and was very strict on us and everything. And I had to go change my stuff in the bathroom. And she was like, I said I needed to go to the bathroom, and she just flipped a lid and was like, why do you need to go to the bathroom, blah, 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 and made me announce to the class why I needed to go to the bathroom. It was pretty humiliating, and I think that was 6th grade. But yeah, and I didn't know many of my friends that had already started at that point. I was pretty, I was one of the first ones. So and I didn't have a lot of guidance with that kind of stuff either. Like, as much as my mom didn't talk to me about menopause, she didn't talk to me about, all of that either. So, my period in the beginning was not just, it was, yeah. And I had really bad cramps. I always had really bad cramps. Like literally heating pads, laying down with pillows, the whole shebang.
Trying to like curl your body into a position where it hurts a little less.
Yeah. I had stepsisters, and my stepsisters would have lower back pain and stuff like that. I never had any of that. It was just always those severe like cramps right there, like, anything you could do, heating pad, whatever you could do to get rid of it. And it was normally huddled up in a ball, laying on your side, But for me, birth control did help level that out. And with me being in perimenopause, I'm still on birth control, but I have an IUD in, and it actually takes away my period. So that's one of the things for me that's really confusing with being in perimenopause, is because I don't have, we automatically trigger menopause at 12 months without a period. Well, I've been without a period kind of for the last, 5 years while I've had an IUD in. And it might be longer than that. My kids are 15 and 14. So I go these long periods of time. Now my period at the end of the life of the IUD, my period returns.
Because you're running out of the hormones.
Yeah. So my period returns at that time, and it's pretty consistent, every month, and but since I've been on birth control, my periods have not been heavy at all, to non-existent, on the IUD. So that's been really hard for me. Is, when we first went into this, I think one of the things that triggered me to say, oh, I wasn't in perimenopause, was I'd never had that inconsistent period. But that was because I had no period at all, because my birth control totally like threw me, So, and if I did, every once in a while, it was just really light spotting, like, nothing major to talk about, And so for me, that's been one of the probably hardest things, though, going through my 30s and in my 40s, is the other thing that triggers for me is not having a period. Like when we have a normal period, we're like, okay, I know that, I'm about to have my period, so I should start having mood swings, right? So if you can track it, that's the other thing, is I can't track it because I don't have one. So what am I tracking? Am I tracking every time I'm emotional? Well, geez, like
every day.
that wouldn't look good. I'm already like I cannot watch someone cry without crying myself. It's just built in me. Call me an empath, whatever you want to say, but I have that just emotional kind of connection. And the kids always, here's my side note on crying for me. I will be sitting there watching a movie. It is sappy. If there's a sad part, I mean, it could be the most action movie, but if there's a sad part and someone's crying, I'm crying. And every time we're on the couch, the kids are over there looking over at me like this.
Right, to check to see if you're crying.
See if I'm crying. And then, usually when they identify that I am actually crying, it's called it.
can just see them.
I just, and I just can't help it. Like I cannot, literally cannot watch someone cry without it inducing tears in myself.
So what do you know? Do you notice like, so I get a headache. Oddly enough, I haven't had a period headache in a while.
Huh. No, I don't get headaches. I don't get backaches. My thing was, of course, PMS, mood swings, and cramping was always my, signals. And so, no, I have like nothing that I've never been one for headaches, so I don't know, like it's the mood swings, but I'm already emotional as it is, so, and I already live a very high stress life. So there's all kinds of emotional flows over here, but, so I never know. John can usually pick up on, when it's that time, like when the difference between me just being emotional versus me having hormonal changes. I can look back and say, you know what, I really think that slump that I had last week was probably hormonal, but I never have, the hard part for me is I never have, oh, well, I started my period. So yep, it sure was hormonal. I never get that confirmation. I'm always looking for like that confirmation of like, when you go through PMS and you're going through your mood swing, and then your period hits and you're like, oh, yeah, that's why I was like that last week. I don't have it. I just like, I think, I think last week that was, maybe that hormonal, and I didn't track it in any sort of way. It's hard to track that kind of stuff. So, yeah, no, the period thing for me is just a hard one.
Are you using the app to track your mood swings?
I do. On our development roadmap, I would like to add in a few more like emotional types of mood swings, because I do track it, but sometimes for me, and it's hard because sometimes I just don't know. It's just for me, I'm feeling that way, right? I get emotional because someone said something and, normally it wouldn't trigger me, but it is triggering me. And I can't even notice that was actually a unusual trigger until like 2 days later or 3 days later, so then, right. Or even a week out. And then it's hard for me sometimes to remember to go back and track everything.
Yeah.
But that's what's hard, and that's what's hard with me and I'm sure other women out there are struggling with the same thing. If you're on some sort of birth control and it's taking away your periods, you're probably having the same kind of confusion, that same, like, I think it's hormonal. I'm not sure if it's hormonal. In the moment, it feels very solid. No, you just hurt my feelings. But, and usually for me, hormonal mood swings, I can see, within a week later, looking back, if I take the time to reflect, I can say, what, I'm pretty sure that was hormonal, because normally somebody would have said that to me and it would not have like thrown me into whatever mood swing that threw me into. So yeah, no.
Isn't it fun being a gal? Oh, but you know what is fun? I have new lipstick. So Danielle knows about my lipstick obsession, but I do have a little bit of a problem. But I got new lipstick in the mail and I'm so excited. So I'm wearing it today.
It's beautiful.
I love it.
Do you?
Yeah, it's so getting older and my lips are they were never voluminous lips to begin with, right? I've always had sort of a thin upper lip and that's no big deal. But I'm noticing that as I get older, right, it just seems to be going. And so I'm trying this lipstick, this lip liner from a company called Lawless, not sponsored. We don't do that. We just talk about things we like. So I saw some beauty YouTubers talking about it, right? And so I got it. And I got the little plumping gel that goes over it.
Okay.
So that's why my lips are a little shiny today. But that's my favorite thing about being a woman. That's why I bring it up. My favorite thing about being a woman is lipstick. I'm telling you, lipstick. I love it.
You know, what's funny is I was doing my makeup today, and so ladies, we were talking with some employees and stuff, and I was, very passionate about what we were talking about, whatever. And I had one employee, and she was like, "You just need to stop right there. We should have recorded that. Like, you need to do that on camera." She's like, and I had no makeup on at that time. I probably working from home. But you know what? I found myself this morning, I thought about it. I was like, maybe I should just not do my makeup, do my normal, like, this is what I look like. No, Vanessa always looks put together for the most part. She does it 75% of the time. Don't let her fool you. 75% of the time, she looks great on the Zoom calls. Me, on the other hand, with the kids and everything else, I'm like, and I go for walks first thing in the morning. I'm usually in my workout clothes and my hair is in a ponytail, whatever. But I look forward to these calls with this, and I feel like it's an opportunity to dress up. So I was like doing my hair and makeup, and I'm sitting there questioning, oh, should I actually do my hair and makeup? Oh, but I want to, like, it's exciting because like I haven't been to the office. I haven't been like doing it on a regular basis. So ladies, you are my reason for dressing up today.
Okay, now here's the thing. No. Danielle always looks beautiful. Doesn't matter if she has makeup on or not. That's the first thing.
Look, and that's the thing. We all look beautiful, whether we have makeup on or not. It's a personal reflection. It honestly is. And we put those things on ourselves and for, and I'm not saying, oh, because I love to put on makeup and it does make me feel pretty. And, but there's times where I'm like, you know what, I just, no. And I am not a huge, like, my makeup better take me 5 minutes or less, or else it's just not going to get done ever. And so I've never put a ton of time into like my, I don't know, beauty routine and stuff like that. I've been trying more as I've been getting older and noticing a few more wrinkles and, trying to stick to a nighttime routine for my creams and, all that stuff, but it's just never been me. I don't know. I've never been able to like stick to that kind of routine. And when I do, I do it for like a month and then something totally disrupts it, like a trip or the holidays or, something. And then I'm totally throw it out the window.
I can't be bothered with my hair. It is what it is. It's frizzy. It's always been kind of curly and frizzy, but only down here. And
now, do you blow dry it? Do you straighten it? Do you curl it? What do you do?
I don't do anything.
Really?
So
I have to blow dry it after I take a shower. And then I have to straighten it. And here's why. As I've gotten older, after I had my kids, my hair was always straight. Like I used to be able to get out, let it air dry, and it would look like this before I had kids. Your hormones change when you have kids. I swear it.
They absolutely do. Yeah.
And underneath now, I get these kinky curls. Like it is straight up like curls up under here, but everything on top is still straight. It looks so ridiculous and weird that I feel like I have to do that. I have to like get out and I have to blow dry it and I have to straighten it. One day I will do it. I will let my hair air dry and I will show you ladies the craziness of the straight versus crazy kinky curls underneath. But if it were all curly, if it would just all do the kinky curl, I think that would be fine. Like,
maybe what we should do is come to this someday with no makeup, right? And you don't do your hair. I don't do my hair as it is, but you don't do your hair. Nobody does their makeup, and we do our makeup while we talk.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Why not?
Good idea. Show you what we do on our regular beauty routine. Sounds good.
Yeah. Or just give us an excuse to still put the makeup on.
It'll be like our before and afters.
I wanted to ask you how your hair is doing because you said a few weeks ago,
yes,
not on a call like this, but just in our private conversations. that your hair was falling out a little, you felt, maybe?
Yes,
You really felt?
yes, yes. Even this morning on my shower, I would like, so I put my conditioner in, I comb it in the shower to try to get it out. Now, I do notice that when I do that, I get more out, in a shower. But I have been noticing that if I do that in the shower, I don't shed as much hair throughout, in between my showers. So I'm not like, having as many hairs falling all over my clothes and my shirts and, whatever, or I'm not like going like this and I have a ton of hairs falling out.
Right.
So I've been doing that in the last couple months more often, and actually just combing through my hair in the shower when I have my conditioner in. And so, and I take it and I put it up on the wall of the shower so it doesn't get clogged in the drain. And then I go and take a tissue and remove it. But it also helps me to see, because I'm kind of interested. Like, so, part of my thing too is, we talked about like it skips generation or whatever. My father had the whole complete bald, like on the top of his head. He just had the side, hair. By the time he was like in his mid-20s. So, for me, I've always, am I going to lose my hair? Is it going to really thin out as I get older? They say, oh, it's based on your mother's father, but how true is that? Is that just, a wives' tale, that's passed on through the generations? Or, do your genetics actually know whether they've, skipped a generation from the mother's father?
They do.
Really?
Yeah, they absolutely do. But now I don't know if I haven't seen a genetic report that shows that it's your mother.
Right.
But
so I haven't dug into that either. I'd like to, because
so
and
much
that's
I want
my
to
first
know.
one.
There's just not enough hours in a day.
No, there's not enough hours in the day ever. All the things I would love to do. I've had a hard time meal planning this week. That has been my and actually, if I were to honestly reflect, it's been the last month. And I'm the one in the family that meal plans, I look ahead to what we're going to make for dinners for the week, and I make sure that our grocery order includes what we need, to make those dinners. And I have not been doing a good job. And I've noticed that we've been eating a lot of those really quick foods that aren't as healthy, because I haven't planned out the meals. If I plan out the meals, even my husband will step in and say, oh, okay, you have this planned, I'll make it. But it's just not happening this week. And I really noticed it, and I'm not happy about it. And I've got to, and it falls into that line of just not having enough time. That was my conclusion. I feel like I don't have enough time in the day. And finally, when I get a moment, I need to relax. We all need to relax, because even planning out your meal plan isn't necessarily relaxing your brain and just taking a break. So I need to do that this weekend. And I've also we just don't have time. I wish we had time to, research all of that. And I wish I had more. Our common phrase at the end of the day is there's not enough hours in the day.
Yep.
There's just not. And it definitely is. It's flying by a lot quicker. The older we get, like this week has flown by. It's Friday.
I don't know how it's March already. Wasn't it just Christmas? Like yesterday was Christmas?
Yeah.
But then again, it's March. And hasn't it been March forever?
The last year.
For the last year, exactly. It's been March. Time makes no sense. Okay, so before we go, remember you gave me a challenge.
I did.
You gave our viewers a challenge too, to eat the rainbow.
Yes.
So thank you for getting after my husband. So my husband's name is Tony. Thank you for getting after Tony, because he does the meal prep and the cooking and the grocery orders and everything. And I ate a pepper.
Ooh.
I'm not a big fan of red peppers. I'm not a big fan of foods that occur in nature that are red to begin with. I don't know why. But I ate a lot of green.
Good.
Oh, I have a celebration. I'll bring that up in a second. So
Okay.
I ate a lot of green, a lot of green. And I ate a lot of orange and a lot of yellow. Red, as I said, red vegetables, for whatever reason, they're not my favorites. I don't like spice. Maybe that has something to do with it.
But do you
anyway,
like tomatoes? Do you like tomatoes?
I love tomatoes.
Oh.
And I eat those all the time, so I didn't even think about those. But I tend to think of, we were trying to eat the rainbow, so
Yes.
he bought things we don't normally eat. Peppers that I don't normally eat. Anyway, I think, okay, so I've been on a weight loss journey. And I have been since January, well, since Christmas, really, like the day before Christmas, I was at my lowest weight since I started this weight loss thing with the Menopause and the Happy Fiber. And I was doing really good, but then Christmas rolled around and I was like, I'm gonna cheat a little, right? I'm just gonna enjoy the holidays. And then for whatever reason, I never really got back on the horse of being really super strict with my diet and all of that stuff. And I was sort of bouncing around between 162 pounds and 160 pounds, right? That's been for like the last 6 weeks now. I've just been sort of up and down between those 2 pounds. Well, guess what? I got on the scale this morning, 159.7.
Woohoo! Good job.
159.7. I'm so excited. And I'm sure it had to do with the fact that I was really trying to focus in on eating the rainbow. Like the plateau just broke.
Yeah.
And
yeah. The fiber, the greens, all of that, you're filling your stomach with lower caloric, but more filling foods.
right.
That's the thing with all these processed foods. And it's funny because that's what I gave your husband a hard time when I said, look, she needs to eat the rainbow. And he's like, yeah, we have a hard time. He's like, and I know he loves to cook and he's amazing. He was like, but I made her this pasta from scratch. And it was, and I was like, well, what vegetable did you say? Vegetable. I was like,
Right, it's pasta carbonara. It doesn't need a vegetable.
Like, yes, it does. Throw some broccoli on the side. Like, that goes great with pasta. Just, you have to think outside the box. And that was one of the things for me this week that I didn't follow my own advice. I didn't eat my rainbow, and I realized that with all these quick meals, when you do these quick meals, it's focused in on the main part of the meal. Like we did a frozen lasagna this week.
You say it like it's such a bad thing. I love lasagna.
Me too. And I made sure to do like just a real quick prepped, pre-made bag salad, that had some good, more than just iceberg lettuce. That's a big thing. And I just made that real quick for the side. So it wasn't that bad. And I focused in on my salad. But then, it was these quick dumplings. And I mean, it's stuff that when I look back, I'm like, you know what? That's the stuff that throws you off track. It throws your microbiome off track. It throws your weight off track. It throws your mood off track. Those things actually affect your mood. They actually bring you down and weigh you in, or they make you feel heavy. All those processed foods like that. Even homemade pasta, as much as it's like, homemade and all that stuff, it's a heavy meal. When you're eating that rainbow and you're eating all those fruits and vegetables, it's very light. You can feel the difference. I challenge, that's my next challenge, is actually test how you feel after a heavy vegetable meal versus a heavy carb or meat meal.
Yeah, well, I can tell you this week I've had a lot of energy over the last few weeks, but this week especially, I've had a lot of energy. I've had just a better mood. Like I said, no mood swings with this period, no cramps. Maybe it has to do with the way I've been eating. I don't know.
Can be. It can be. So, the other thing that you're doing by eating that rainbow is you're helping those probiotics. So, and we talk about this all the time, and I know it's hard. I know it's hard. We struggle with it all the time, right?
Yeah.
I struggle with it and I preach it.
I eat a pound of broccoli a day.
Yeah.
But I can eat a half a pound of broccoli a day and a half a pound of like a cup of Brussels sprouts and right, an orange and take my happy fiber and bam, good
Yes.
to go.
Yes. Yep. That's exactly right.
So I don't know, I don't think I've ever said this on this video series, but I topped out around 200 pounds and I am 5'3". So 200 pounds is, morbidly obese for sure. I'm still probably in the morbidly obese category, being 159.7. I could say it all day now. But it's been a slog. I have tried to lose, those extra 60, 70, 80 pounds, whatever that winds up. I think I'm supposed to be, according to a BMI index with my bone mass, I'm supposed to be 118 pounds.
I can't. Yeah.
That's too, I don't think that's realistic for me. If I could, my dog's losing it. I think if I could get to like 130, right, that would be sustainable. But it's been a journey to lose that 40 pounds, and there's still weight to go. There's still goals I have. So I don't want everyone to think that, you come in, you take a pill and it's a magic cure. It's not a magic cure. Like Danielle said, you still have to dig deep in and do the work. And it's not just about weight loss. It's about your whole quality of life, right? It's about having energy. It's about being able to play with your dogs.
Yes.
It's about being able to play with your grandkids and having a long life full of really happy memories and being able to do the things that you love with the people you love.
Yes, a long, healthy life, and that's ultimately, when we looked at all the things that our supplements and, the things that we're bringing to market, we want to provide products that are quality products that will give you a long, healthy life, right? So it's the overall health. Now, there's things, of course, that, we're worried about weight, it's natural. We're worried about skin and wrinkles and, so we've tried to target some things towards those things. But in general, we want you to have a healthy life, through menopause. There's a lot of things that happen with your body through menopause that actually take a really big toll on the body. Osteoporosis, bone stuff, heart health.
We should delve really deeply into that in next week's episode, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea because the heart health is one of the ones that we have looked at very intensively from all of us down to our researcher, Dr. John Canella. So that's a good one for next week. Stay tuned for next week. We want to dive into heart health with you and why you should be paying attention to heart health, even at 30.
Heart health, bone health, it all starts to get impacted in your 30s. And,
yes.
A lot of women, I think 95% of women don't know that. So stay tuned for next week because we're gonna talk about science, but we're gonna do our makeup while we do it. I don't know. Can I do both at the same? I think I can.
We'll take turns.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna talk more offline about the logistics of how that would be. But we're definitely going to talk about heart health, bone health, and why you need to start paying attention to it now, sooner rather than later in next week's episode. So make sure you come back for that because it's about your quality of life. It's about your health, and that's why we're here. So, okay. Any parting words, Danielle?
No, that's all. I need to talk to you about lipstick.
Okay.
Parting words.
Hey, I'm happy to, you know what? I secretly want to be a beauty YouTuber, so I'm happy to talk about lipstick anytime.
I love it. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for
Bye-bye.
joining us. Bye-bye.